Hi, I'm Jennifer Reuting.
Hi, Jennifer. Great job in there. Tell me about your company.
MyLLC.com, we form LLCs and corporations in all 50 states for small business owners and filmmakers.
Okay, and tell me how that works.
Well, it's pretty easy actually to form an LLC. You just call our offices and we get all the paperwork done for you. And then the hard part is structuring it and deciding how you want the LLC to be structured because it's very flexible.
What are the advantages of forming an LLC?
Ah, it's impossible to try to find financing for your film without one. Without an LLC, you don't have any shares or membership to sell in exchange for an interest in your film. You can't sell parts of yourself. You need an entity to put your film into.
Right.
So it's not just an advantage, it's sort of a necessity.
And probably most people don't know about this. I mean,
true.
in there, I was surprised. Some of the people said, I've never heard of it, and I could have saved lots of money with lawyers.
Oh, it's true. It's really true. I mean, it's such an advantage to understand the dynamics of an LLC and what you're capable of doing with them when approaching investors. Because they're so flexible, you can vary how the profit is distributed. And so, unlike a corporation where if you own 30% of the corporation, you get 30% of the profit, no more or no less. With an LLC, you're able to vary the distributions, you're able to structure the management however you want. So if you want to make somebody a silent investor, and they're okay with that, you can do so. Or you want to give them a little bit of creative control, but not too much, you can do that also. So by understanding what's possible, it really gives you a leg up in the negotiations, and it makes you look professional, especially when you bring an investment to an investor, and it's in an LLC, and you already have your paperwork done. They know you're serious when you're raising money.
And I understand you have a book called Dummies for LLCs, right?
Limited liability companies for dummies, yes. So if it's for dummies,
Dummies,
so
right.
filmmakers will be golden.
Right. So under an LLC, do I understand correctly that you can protect yourself from lawsuits and things like that?
Yeah, LLCs are actually, they have the best liability protection of any entity because you're able to protect and insulate your personal assets from any liabilities of the business or the film. So if you're filming and one of your stars gets hurt doing their own stunts, which they're apt to do,
Terrible.
you're going to be liable, and your personal assets can be attached. That may not be such a big deal for the filmmaker because all their personal assets are usually in the film, but
Right.
for the investor, they don't necessarily want their kids' college fund and their savings accounts and all of their assets to be attached to a lawsuit that happens in your film.
Exactly. So let me ask you this. Is this something that's been done just recently, LLCs, or has it been around a long time?
Well, they've been around since the 70s, but it's not until the past 10 years that they've really taken off, and now they're available in all 50 states. I try to tell filmmakers that when they're approaching investors, because they're a newer entity, a lot of investors will be more comfortable with the tried and true corporation, and it's simply just because corporations have been around for hundreds of years. It's the default, de facto entity to use, but in this case, it really isn't the best entity to use. And LLCs have been tested in courts, so they really are legitimate enough and secure enough of an entity to be able for the investors to rely on them. They've been proven in the court of law, so it's not like the newest kid on the block. It's not that they've been unproven. So if you know a lot about what can be done with an LLC and you sort of guide your investor and you're able to use your LLC to structure an investment that's really attractive to the investor and what the investor is looking for and it serves the investor's needs, they'll be really impressed.
Is this an expensive process? I'm sure most filmmakers want to know that.
Yeah, no, it's not an expensive process at all. It's you're probably looking at a couple $100s. It really depends on what state you form your LLC in, because the state fees they can go from $50 to $500.
Okay.
And in California, this is why I recommend that people form their LLCs in Nevada if it's a film, and then foreign file in whatever state they decide to film in, which means they register in that state, because California charges a $900 franchise tax per year.
Wow.
For the
What a
LLC.
difference.
So it's not something that you really want to go in unprepared for.
Okay, so how can people contact you?
My email, jennifer.reuting, Reuting, at myllc.com. Our Twitter address is at myllc. So.
Great Twitter address. Easy to remember. I like that. Anything you'd like to add, Jennifer?
I just really want to encourage people to look at LLCs and learn about them. Knowledge is power. And if you start meeting with investors and you know this stuff and you know it's possible, and you have a lot more power to structure an investment that is attractive to them. It's like, you get in there, you get a feel for what they want, and what they're, some investors want more creative control, other investors are more looking for the return on investment.
Right.
And you can structure it however you want. You can structure the LLC in a way that sort of plays to their interests, and you're a lot more likely to get an investor.
Sounds great. Anything else?
That's the gist of it. So.
Great to talk to you, and thanks so much for the information.
Thank you.
Okay.
You.